Let me start by saying that the year 2018 for me has been like being attacked by a group of relentless flying nihilist hipster monkey clones. So yeah, being here for 6 years trying to unite the people for common goals to improve our future. It's been a rough road, man. Apparently I'm one of the only few people on the planet who thinks that would be a good idea. And instead, people have been like, hey, but in a system of discord and hate, I have a lot of personal power to attack people. So that's what we're going to do. So, you know, this divide and conquer. Bread and circus, man versus man, woman versus man, corporation versus man, religion versus man, sexuality versus man, sex versus man. World is now what we have. Everybody fights all the time. And nobody seeks out solutions. And so we get a really bad sign, man. I'm sorry to bring you the bad news. Truth isn't always sweet and goes down easy. But the markets are showing signs of instability. I had made a video earlier where I was talking about the chart that showed the most stable industries at the moment were energy, electricity, oil, and healthcare, and then fourth was media, and then 19th on the list at negative 26% were banks, and then insurance companies were at negative 10%, and that was a couple of days ago, and the market's gone down since then. And so when the media is one of the strongest industries in our economy, that's a bad sign, man. That's a really bad sign. And the media was like above food. Where if people have to choose between listening to the media or going on social networking to talk about politics over food, if they have to choose between, they're like, no, I want to talk about media, or no, I want to talk about politics. And so, yeah, the stock market's going down again. And the main reason I find this interesting is because they have what is called a Santa Claus rally, where the stock markets usually go up before Christmas because people want people to perceive themselves as rich. Like remember a year ago, Bitcoin was at like $18,000. The markets were high. I believe oil had just broken 70 or something. And back then I used to go out and have a few drinks at bars. I'd draw them right there. And the amount of cockiness and arrogance amongst, not always the nicest people was tangible. You could just tell that they were oil rich and crypto rich, and they weren't necessarily the nicest guys. I noticed the oil guys got meaner as oil went up. It wasn't like they got nicer. They get meaner the more power they have, I guess. And remember, I'm not an economist. I'm just a guy talking about the economy, saying, hey, after getting my ass kicked all year, and now the markets are starting to get their ass kicked, and the underlying signs don't look that great. I know when people talk about, the economy's so strong, like, sure, yeah, if you discount the negative $21 trillion national debt that we've accumulated in the last 20 years, I guess if you pretend like that fucking thing doesn't exist, then sure. And then overall, I have talked to some really smart people who work in really strong places, and that, yeah, like all the basis of the economy, all the goods and services that we have, yeah, that is strong, but it's kind of like the mechanism between the money and the system. And that, when you have an imbalance, then it just doesn't work. And when the imbalance gets too great, it just doesn't work. Like when the system itself is profitable from beating the people mentally, physically, and spiritually 24/7. So it's like to distract them in the law of diminishing returns. It's like people work their asses off, and then when they get home to relax or take some me time, then they're pretty much plugged back into work to talk about politics. So it's like they're rendering unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and apparently they're owned by Caesar. So sorry to say, at a time where I'm broke right before my birthday and Christmas, I got to give you the information that, yeah, I haven't done a video on economics in a while and the economy. But we'll see what can happen. Anything can go up. It just shows kind of where we're at, because the corporations, are here to make money. And so the best thing they can usually do, and it happens almost every year, is the stock markets go up. So everybody thinks the economy's good. So they go spend and buy all the Christmas gifts and stuff because everybody feels rich. It's like, I can almost guarantee you most people will be spent more money last year on Christmas than they did this year, because the economy's perception, man. It's like a fiat currency is a dollar back, like a money backed by nothing. The full faith and confidence in your government. That's what a dollar's backed by. Crazily enough. Anyway, this video may be too depressing. I'll have to think about it. Maybe I shouldn't put it out. Because, yeah, like, it's a fucking crazy world, man. And if the two pillars of our civilization are revenge and profit, we aren't going to last long. That's just the way it is. I say it's called diminishing returns. And so, in this standard of diminishing returns, to continue to keep everybody divided and distracted, they're going to have to continue to increase the beatings and the bullshit. And that's just how it is. And that's why, like, the only option we have as the people is to unite. And so the system is now geared towards, people wishing death on other people just for disagreeing about anything. And that if anyone disagrees with you on any subject, people are like, oh, he's insane. That person is horrible. They are anti everything that is good. It just shows how crazy the world has become. But in a silver lining aspect, once you've broken everybody down mentally, physically, and spiritually, they can all go in one good direction, or they can go in one really bad direction. And so I haven't lost faith, but I could say, fuck yeah, dude, it's been a fucking rough ass year, 2018, worst year of my life. When I say that, I'm a tough dude. I've been through a whole lot my whole life. And it's been brutal. Especially if you have empathy and you can feel what everybody feels. And it really does feel like evil aliens might be harvesting our energy. Because whatever overall mindset that has been going on since 9/11 has been very anti-human. I mean, they're driving the quality of life down so hard that nobody really benefits. And I know people are like, oh, these people benefit, but no, they don't. Like, when everybody's angry and upset all the time, nobody really benefits. And that's why, I don't know, I've always recommended the earth is like the room of requirement. It gives us whatever we need when we need it, as long as our heart is pure. And so, having been so revenge, divide and conquer, profit-minded for the last 19 years has really led us to a dark place. But it's always darkest before the dawn. So fucking A, come on, people. Like, how long are we going to let the fucking garbage hearts run the show? Anyway, I got faith in God, so I'll keep at it. And this might be the most depressing video I made this year. Although I'm not depressed. One thing I got to say is I've been watching Cheers. Like this morning, a little bit last night. I skipped to the 4th season when Woody's there. It is definitely the best sitcom ever. And the term meme actually comes from Diane mispronouncing mime in the 4th season 7 episode. You don't believe me? You can watch it because the whole time they're like, meme. They're talking about memes. It was really funny. Yeah, and Katya is gorgeous. Merry Christmas, y'all. It's one of the best casts ever. And it's weird because, back in the day, as a screenwriter, it's like, that's how it should work in a good conversation. Somebody says like one or two sentences and then the next person says one or two sentences. But now it seems like the social networking has turned everybody into a monologue where if you go out, people, having conversations, I don't know, people end up telling really long stories. Even if you have like 5 people at the table, one person is taking up like all the time. Like, okay, now I'm rambling. Okay, everybody stay cool. The S&P has an ampersand, which everyone knows keeps things together because Joe Weisenthal was saying is the stalwart. The Dow's down 2.19%. S&P is down 2.2. Please tell me again how much better constructed the S&P is. I'm like, well, it has an ampersand, so it totally wins, right? Okay, great. I love you guys. Peace out.